So it was recently announced yesterday from the White House that Biden has no intentions of pardoning Hunter Biden after he did say it before that he wasn't going to do it, but I figured that was just because it was election season and he didn't want there to be like any political baggage against Biden heading into the race, because of Harris, and didn't want to bring down the ticket by making it seem like he's corrupt and he's pardoning family members that are convicted of felonies. But now that the election's over, the White House is still saying the same thing, that Biden has no intentions of pardoning Hunter, which is crazy to me because honestly, I don't think that based off of what he's being convicted of, based off of the charges that are being brought against him, he shouldn't serve prison time at all for any of this shit. So there's two things that they're getting him on right now. The big thing that he was just convicted on was possessing a firearm while being addicted to a substance, because that is a felony in Delaware, or at least a felony to not report it. Because then, if you report it, then they take the gun from you. But by not reporting it, you've committed a felony under the law in that state. And there's a lot of states that have that same law as well. I think New York has it, and a bunch of them. Now we're talking about the Second Amendment and gun control law, because that's what it is. It's a gun control law that says that people who are addicted to a substance should not be allowed to possess a firearm, right? So they got him on that. He has not been sentenced yet, but he has been convicted. And then they're also getting him on tax charges, tax fraud charges in, I believe it's California. So two things on that. Okay, for Republicans, I don't remember any other point where Republicans were cheering about someone being convicted on gun charges and tax charges. Like, of all the things that like, those are the things that Republicans, you think the most would be like, the government should not go after people at all on these things. But all of a sudden, the Second Amendment just gets thrown out the window because someone who you don't like politically is getting brought down because of it. Okay. See, that's the thing. I am gonna call out shit when I see that it's clearly wrong in my view. Like, it's clearly hypocritical. And I said this. I'm not just saying this now. I said this before the election was happening, when the conviction first went through for the gun charges for Hunter Biden, however many months ago that it was at this point. And I'm like, wow, the so-called pro Second Amendment Republicans are fucking cheering about someone's Second Amendment rights being violated, them potentially serving prison time over it. Like, wow, what a tyrannical government that's going after Hunter Biden right now. But oh no, of course, it's all good because his last name is Biden, and we hate Hunter. Now, if you want to try to talk about stuff that he did in the Ukraine and all this other stuff, that's whatever. But we're talking about guns here, and he didn't fire the gun. Like, it's not like he killed someone or pointed the gun at someone or anything like that. There was no victim in this crime. He was a drug addict, which is well documented, and he had a gun, and he didn't report that he was a drug addict. But you know what the thing about that is? Say what you want about drug addicts, right? And a lot of people on the right are going to just associate anyone who has a substance abuse problem as, like, automatically as a criminal and a horrible person. But you know what? There's a lot of people on the right that have serious nicotine and or alcohol addiction problems, but since that's perfectly legal, that's perfectly fine for a lot of folks, right? And it's not just the right. It means people on the left and the right who are especially, oh my god, there's so many fucking alcoholics in society. It's just like the mainstream thing is to just be a fucking dysfunctional alcoholic. That's just the that's just the way our fucking society operates. And having fun and getting drunk, or you can't do one without the other. You can't have fun without being a drunken fool. That's how society operates currently. So I mean, that's like a whole conversation for another day. But that's just something that I want to say, though, because judging people who have addiction problems when it comes to illegal drugs, but there are so many perfectly legal drugs that actually, like, a good proportion of the population has issues with, but it gets swept under the rug because it's considered normal by society. Basically, society deems it's okay, so therefore it's okay, even though it causes a lot of problems, a lot of death, a lot of all these other things. But whatever, right? So that's that. I just wanted to put that out there, right? The other thing is that, yeah, it's like you guys clearly are proving that you have no actual values and no belief system. Because you talk a big talk about the Second Amendment, you talk a big talk about how the government shall not infringe on your Second Amendment rights, but you are all cheering about Hunter Biden getting brought down over this stupid fucking shit. So, I guess for a lot of people, they think he's guilty on other things, so anything that they can stick him with, they'll take it. I think that might be part of it, if we're going to be honest, is that they don't necessarily think that the gun charges are justified, but just him being in an orange jumpsuit just gets them hard. So however that happens, it's fine. But again, how are they're talking so much about how they're trying to get Trump no matter what. So if they're trying to get Hunter Biden no matter what, that's okay. Like, there's hypocrisy on the left and the right. Just because I've been focusing more on the left, just because they are currently a bigger threat right now, doesn't mean that the right isn't also full of a bunch of fucking clowns. They are. So, there's that. And then as far as, like, Biden is concerned, like, as far as why he's not doing it, I don't really understand. He has no more political ambitions because he decided not to run for another term, and he's probably not going to be alive in 4 years, never mind be able to run in 4 years. The reason why he got kicked out was because of him showing signs that he's just not there anymore. And he was showing signs of it years ago, and people kept sweeping it under the rug because it was politically convenient for them. And yeah, Trump is showing signs of slowing down too. But you know what? I'm like, yeah, you could clearly see it, but at the same time, it's nothing compared to Biden, because the two of them were on stage at the same time, and clearly one was way just not there compared to the other. Trump standing next to Biden on that debate, clear contrast there. But it's just strange to me, because I understand why he said it during the election, but to say it again now that the election's over and he has no more reason to not do the pardon, very strange. Very strange. I'm honestly not sure. Is it because he actually believes that he should be brought down on these fucking gun charges, and that Hunter has just been too much of a liability for him, that he's just like, you know what, he needs to just go away and spend some time in jail and maybe he'll learn his lesson? Does he think it's like a tough love thing? Or is he just saying, fuck this, I don't care anymore, I'm just done? And he's just mentally checked out at this point. Could be that as well. I'm really trying to figure that out, though, because I expected that the day before Trump's inauguration, he was going to just sign the pardon. And I guess it's possible that he still can, because enough time's going to go by that it's going to be like, oh, shit, like, if I don't step in, Hunter's going to go away. So he could flip at the last minute, and it won't even matter, because Biden is no longer a force in the Democratic Party. He's done. And same thing with Harris, too. But, let me know in the comments section, what do you think? Why do you think that Biden is not pardoning Hunter? Because that's something that I am actually very surprised by.